Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. It's a bit of a dying art really, but I wanted to bring to the table, so to speak, some tea leaf readings, guys. Tea leaf readings been going on since about the 1800s, and it was mostly used by travellers, gypsies throughout the centuries, where they would read the tea leaves for certain clients, etc. So I actually purchased this deck of tea leaf fortune cards. Oh, I should say I've had this deck now for about 2 years, and it was by Ray Hepburn. And the concept of the cards, guys, there's 200 circular cards in this deck, and it does cover 12 months of the year. Okay, so you can actually do a 12-month forecast with a tea leaf reading. It also can sort of concentrate on one area. If you're doing it face to face, you could ask the client to pick one of these cards, and on here we've got areas of love, career, happiness, marriage, success and wealth. Okay, so that's another way of, if somebody's got a specific question in an area where they need answers to. And then we have the main 182 cards that assist with the reading along with what's picked up in the actual cup. So I just thought it'd be nice to bring this to the table and see what kind of readings we get. And I was going to start on the lovely month of October, so I've picked out the October card. So that's the introduction to what I'm going to be doing today for you. Okay, my lovelies, what I'm going to do now is be reading for the lovely sign of Libra, and I've actually put a card here now, guys, because it saves me forgetting who I'm reading for sometimes in my readings. So Libs, without further ado, I'm just going to start to sprinkle a few tea leaves in your cup, guys. Oh, nearly. That went in okay though. So yeah, Libs, I've got some hot water in here, and I'm just going to add that in just to start the tea leaves infusing a little bit, and we'll just give them a stir to get the intention going for the lovely messages that we've got for Libra going into the end of October, the Halloween, into the start of November. So yeah, I'll just start to give these a little swirl around, and what I do is you put quite a bit of water in to start with just to get the leaves infusing a bit, so then we can start building it up, and then I just take the excess out in a minute, and then we go from there, guys. So I'm just going to take some of the excess out of that now. Okay, and we just carry on swirling round. As you can see that it starts to build up, then just take a little bit more out of there. Okay, and we'll just swirl that around. And then what we do is we have to just tip this upside down then, Leaves. So yeah, turn that around. We always put the handle facing to the heart because that sets the intention, and we'll just wait there a second for the excess water to drain. And then what we do is we have to turn the cup anti-clockwise for 3 half turns. Okay, so I'm just going to do that now for you. So we've got 1, 2 and 3, and then the old Romany tradition is that you have to tap the cup 3 times. Okay, you can do this before you turn, or you can do it after. So I tend to try and do it after if I can. So I'm just going to tap this cup now 3 times, which then allows us permission to go into the cup and read what message there leaves. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and then we can start to have a look of what we've got in. Oh wow, this is a busy cup, Libra. So I'm just going to have a look of what we've got coming into here for you. Okay, Just have a quick look through here. Okay, first of all, I've got the symbols of two trees here, okay, and obviously it looks like the winds of change, okay. So for some of my Librans, I can see going into October, November, there is going to be some changes coming around you in this period, okay. So this could be changes in work or changes around your relationships, guys. I just see there's winds of change here in this cup to start off with. Okay. I can also see as well, some of you may be looking at the moment of a last minute holiday plan to try and get something in around the Christmas time, because I've actually got a snowman here in this cup. He's actually standing here, a snowman, and obviously there's fireworks at the back of it. So I just feel that some of my Libras may be flicking through, you know, the internet looking for last minute deals, where I can just see there's a trip going to be trying to be put together to go away, whether it's New Year's. I feel more New Year's than Christmas, to be fair, even though the snowman symbol's there. I just feel because of the fireworks and everything else around it, I do feel that it's a trip going to be organised to celebrate New Year somewhere, that some of my Libras are looking to try and get into manifestation in planning a trip away, okay. I also feel as well, I've got musical notes here, okay, musical notes. So I do feel that some of my Librans may be getting involved. Well, I've got a couple of scenarios here where these musical notes could fit along. It's either somebody who's actually going to be landing a job, you know, to be working in a musical environment, whether that's actually a music teacher, or just within, you know, could be landing a position in finding themselves being accepted to go and play in an orchestra or a band, okay. But I've just got the musical notes here where I just feel there's a celebration around some element where somebody's either qualified musicianally, do you know what I mean? They've taken some kind of qualification past their, you know, learning to play the piano, learning to play the trumpet, something like that, just musically minded, where they've got some kind of accreditation for passing that. Or, as I said, it could be that somebody's qualified to actually become a music teacher, because I've just got these notes here, just all in the cup up this corner, and I just feel that's to do with that kind of a scenario. So that's what I'm picking up there. Let's just have a look what else we've got in the cup here. Okay, I've actually got a name in this cup, guys. I've got a C, an A, an R and an L, Carl, okay. Now, when names come up in cups, I do feel this is more on a spiritual link when names come into the actual tea leaf readings. So this could be on a remembrance link for somebody called Carl that's passed into the spirit world, where there's an anniversary or some kind of remembrance coming up shortly for that person, okay. So I've got that name of Carl in there. And I've also got, let's have a quick look, there's another name here. I've got a very tiny down here, I've got the name of David, okay. So again, because it's in a tea leaf reading, I do feel that it's a connection again for somebody just wanting to come in with the name of David, where it could be significance for some of my Libras. Okay, let's have a look what else we've got here. Okay, I have got a image of a snake here, guys. Okay, it's just pouring itself out of the cup there to me. So it's just for some of my Libras to be aware that there's something underhanded going on, something that's going on behind your back. You could be dealing with a unsavoury character. Now this could be around your work environment, somebody being a bit sly, okay? I just got this snake here rising up, and I just feel it's just something around you that you're not to trust, whether it's, and I do feel a person really, I just feel that there's somebody around you or a situation where it's just a little bit of underhanding going on, guys. So it's just to be aware of that really. Okay, what else have we got in here for you? Okay, I've also got here a situation where I feel there's a three-party relationship. There's three people in a relationship here, okay? But I do feel there's a split going to happen. Like there was three elements of this, you know, just a relationship where there was, you know, there was three parties in this like a love triangle. That's what I want to try and say. There's a love triangle that's been going on for some of my Librans, but it's just saying there's going to be a parting of the waves here, okay? Because I just see this is like a sword directly going through this triangle. Now it could be, you know, it could be a business thing as well. Like you've got three people in a sort of a partnership, okay, and it's just saying that somebody's going to be cut out. I just feel that somebody's going to be cut out of a third party element here, because it's just completely a sword chopping right directly down on the third element, where they're just going to cut one of these parties out. So I do feel that's going to be happening around the end of October, going into the start of November, guys, for some of my Libs. Okay, I've also got here quite a few starbursts, and this is for a celebration. Now I feel this again is a celebration here for somebody who's achieved something, okay, with all these stars in the actual cup itself. So that's good news for somebody celebrating something again. Again, it could be a job offer coming in, where they've been accepted, and it's a celebration for that. I just see a big celebration going on for some of my Libs at the end of October going into November. Or it could be just that you've been waiting on some information and that's come through and it's really made you happy, okay? But I just see some good news here, and it could also be somebody's being recognised for being a star, okay? You know, like the saying of, you're a star, you are, okay? It's like, this is the term that you may hear to yourself for doing something good in your job. Or I just feel there's some recognition here where, you know, that somebody's going to actually give you a pat on the back and say, you're a star for doing that, you know, whether that's, you know, you could have helped somebody in a situation, but I just feel you're going to get somebody pat you on the back and say you're a star for doing that, okay? So it's just to remember those words, Libs, okay? Just see if I've got anything else in here. Now this is not going to resonate with everyone, but I just feel that I see castle turrets, okay? It's like, whether that's a symbol of putting your guard up, Libra, and I think it may be to do with what that snake that I picked up in the cup earlier. I just feel that you're going to be putting up barriers on somebody, actually blocking somebody out of your life that's been causing you a little bit of grief, because I just see castle turrets like as a defence kind of symbol, but it also could actually physically mean that some of my Libras are actually going to be visiting or staying in a somewhere where it's got castle turrets. I just see the, you know, the top of a, you know, the structure of a castle turret. It's not going to resonate with everyone, guys. I'm just reading what messages I've got, and I just feel that some of my Librans out there will be visiting somewhere where there's this structure of a castle, or it's the metaphorical sense of, you know, you are the king of your own castle and you're putting your drawbridge up on somebody, okay, in a situation that you no longer want to get party or privy to. So it's just, I'm just picking up that kind of sense as well, okay. Just have a last look round this cup before I move on to the cards, guys. I just feel these, because the way this cup is sweeping round, you know, remember when I started and I said I could see just winds of change. I just feel there's a lot of change going to be coming into play, going into the end of October into November, because it's just like, whew, I just feel like things are going to be changing for your Libs in a lot of aspects of your life, guys. Just a very busy time. Because I've got like different new moons as well, the cycles of new phases, okay, as well for you. Just make sure I've picked everything up out of this. Okay, I've also got here, it's very tiny, but there's a person sort of sitting in a chair, okay, and I've got other members around it. So it could be some of my Librans are going to be dealing with a family member who's unwell at the moment, because I just feel like there's a thermometer at the side of this person sitting in a chair. So I do feel that some of my Librans may find a family member maybe going into hospital at the end of October to November, where they need some checks doing, because I just see this person sitting in a, you know, like a chair, like, or a wheelchair even. I just feel like it's like a hospital environment. Obviously, you know, I'm not saying it's directly that you're going to be going into hospital. I just feel that you could be around somebody family-wise that may have to go into hospital and have just a few checks done here, because this is what I'm picking up in the cup there. So yeah, that's the messages I'll get out of the cup then, Libs, for you. So I'm going to move on to the cards now and see what other messages we get for you out of the cards. So I'll just start shuffling here. What messages have we got, please, for the lovely, oh, that wants to come out, so we'll put that there for Libra. What messages can we have, please, for the lovely Librans for the end of October going into November? And we've got that one. And then I'll just take two out of this side. What messages have we got as well, please, for the lovely Librans going into the end of October, Halloween? Oh, we've got too many come out there. That one's sticking out though, so I'm going to have that one. And what messages, please, have we got for our lovely Libs? Further messages, and that one's sticking out, so I'm going to have that one. So let's have a look then, Libra, of the cards that have come out for you. So we have dealings or relationships with a lady. Well, that doesn't give us much, does it, to go off? But I do feel, obviously this is a message saying that some of my Librans out there, you know, are going to have to be dealing with matters to do with, what I feel it is to do with is to do, you know, at the start of the cup I said there's going to be some relationship issues. So this could obviously be saying that this is a message obviously for my Librans who are going through some issues with the relationships, you know, and also it could be to do with, you know, when I said you're putting up your guard, you're king of your own castle, where you're being a bit defensive, being guarded to yourself. It could be that this person, when I said there was somebody being a bit untrusty with the snake in the cup, this could be where it manifests, saying it's an actual female that some of my Librans need to be aware of, where they seem to be, you know, not trusting somebody. And again, in the cup, where it was just saying to be guarded, really. So it could be being guarded around a woman who's around your leaves at the end of October, going into November. It could also mean that there's a new relationship blossoming as well, you know, because it's got dealings or a relationship with a woman. So it could be, like I say, two sides of the coin here, Leaves. You could be dealing with a lady who you need to be aware of because of the snake being in the cup, or it could actually just be a relationship link with a new person coming into your life as well. So there's two sides to the coin there, Leaves, on that one. So then we move on to the next card, and we have spiritual guidance, protection from harm. Okay, so I do feel that this card has come out saying that there's, you know, you are being quite guarded in a spiritual sense at the moment, because I do feel there's this element keep coming up, that snake just keeps coming up that was in the cup for you, that I do feel there's a little bit of untrust, you know, somebody not trustworthy, that's what I want to say. There's some element of untrust, you know, how can I say, I just feel that there's a situation around you where there's a little bit of underhanded things going on behind your back, Leaves. Okay, it's not going to resonate with everybody, but I just feel that you are being protected at the moment, because there is some certain elements that the universe is trying to highlight to you. Because if we look here, we've got this lady holding a candle, like trying to throw some light on something, trying to make you see. Okay, try to take the blindfold from some of my Leaves who may not be seeing the true picture of somebody. Now this could be to do with, as I said, this female. Okay, it could be spirit are trying to get you to shine the light on somebody's personality that isn't really true, the essence to you. And it could also be you know, to try and get, you know, to see the light that you know, you may be missing somebody straight under your nose. Okay, because it could be the fact that some of my Librans may be working in an environment where there could be a female who has tried to catch your eye, okay, and you've just been totally oblivious, Leaves. And it might be the case of the universe is trying to make you see, open your eyes a little bit more, that there could be something right under your nose that you're missing. So not to lose you all, Leaves. It could be on a positive side or a negative side. It could be on a positive element for you to you know, be wary that there's somebody around you, a female around you, who is not being honest with you. Okay, and also it could be a female around you where there's somebody directly under your nose where, you know, they are trying to catch your eye and you're just totally oblivious. And it's just to be aware of that. That's what I'm feeling with those cards, guys. Okay, so then we've got the butterfly, a change for the better. So, you know, when I said the whole of that cup was like the winds of change, okay, so I do feel that there are some changes going on or will be going on for my Librans going into the end of October into November. I have to keep remembering where I am in the months, guys, I'm sorry. So yeah, I do feel there's some changes for the better coming in for some Librans, in, you know, whether that's to do with work changes, you know, you're changing your job for the better, you're ending relationships, and then that puts you, you know, if you've been in a volatile relationship, that could, you know, things could be ending for new things to be starting. So it's just to be aware, it's a whole period of change going on in a lot of areas at the moment for my lovely Librans. And then the last card we've got out is birth or conception of a child or enterprise. Okay, so this is to do with new projects coming into play. It could actually be, as it says, there could be news of somebody getting pregnant, okay, or around the end of October, November, some of my Librans could be waiting for news on the birth of a child that's coming into the world. But it's just to be saying that also I feel the picture itself can actually mean, because it's like birth of something new. And as I said, the whole of this reading for Libs was about winds of change, okay? Just winds of change. So it could be that some of my Librans are looking to start new jobs. It could be that they, as I said, end of relationships, start of new relationships, and just, you know, could be starting your own businesses as well, going into the end of October, into November. But it's just to be aware that there is a message there for a few where there's news of pregnancy, where you could have been trying to, you know, to get pregnant for quite some time, and now the winds of change have come in, and at last you've got that news of actually being pregnant, guys. So that could be another element of it. So that's what I'm feeling, why that card's come out for you, okay? So yeah, my lovely Librans, I hope you can take something from those messages in the tea leaf read. It's not going to resonate with everybody, obviously, but hopefully you can take some of the messages that have been presented here today for you. So I wish you well, my lovely Libras, and I'll look forward to reading to you next time. Take care then. Bye.